we did this the Cowboy Vittles way. Welcome back to another day of cooking at the home of Cowboy Vittles, a place you can call home. Now, I love the holidays, as you all know, and right now that we're fast approaching Thanksgiving, and it's the only time of year I can seem to get them turkey gizzards. Now, we just pressure can some of our gizzards, and those are going to last us for several months. Now it's time to get on to the things that I really like, which is pickled turkey gizzards. I remember growing up in Montana as a young man in a small town. You could go into just about any bar, and no, I wasn't drinking back then, but I used to go there to shoot pool. And behind the counter, they always had different types of things. They would have seasoned sausages. They would have pickled eggs. They would have pickled turkey gizzards. I'm going to show you how to make it the Cowboy Vittles way. Now, these are turkey gizzards. If you went out hunting, this is what they're going to look like, a whole piece. But when you get them into the store, guess what? They split them open and they take that sack out of the middle, because that's where all that grain and grit and everything else was lying there. And if you can see here, they've got a lot of gristle on there as well. What we're gonna do, we're gonna put these in a pan and start cooking these up. Normally I would put them in the crock pot, but I'm not gonna worry about these ones here because they'll do the same job. And I like them in the crock pot because they come out nice and tasty if you're pressure canning them. However, that's not how I remember it in Montana. So let me get the rest of them in there and then come back and join us and let me show you what the rest of the things we're gonna add in there. Now that we got our turkey gizzards sitting on high in this pan, what we're gonna do, I got 2 medium-sized yellow onions. What we're going to do is slice that down. I've already prepared one. So let's cut off the ends on this. Then what we're going to do, we're going to split it right down the middle. Let's peel these ends off here. Put that down there. Peel them onions. We're going to set this off to the side. Now what I like to do, I like to take these and slice it about 2 times down the length of it. Then I'm going to go ahead and chop it again. Now let's start peeling these things down just a little bit. Put all this onion in here. Now let's go ahead and peel these onions down just a little bit as far as separation of them. Put them in here. They don't have to be perfect. As long as it gets the job done, that's all that matters. Because it's going to give you a little bit more flavor as this meat's cooking. Alright, almost got her, and since I got the other onion already peeled up, all I gotta do is slap it in there. Now let me get this bowl here, get some more going. Now let's go ahead and put some salt in there, about 2 tablespoons of it, just like I use for a lot of things. Get that going. and about the same liberal sprinkling of pepper. There we go, that should be enough. Now, when I cook up turkey or chicken and stuff, I actually like to use stock, the broth from the chicken and stuff. So let's go ahead and get this poured in here. There went that dog of mine again in the background. She must be seeing a cat or something. She just can't keep quiet around them darn things. Let's set that over there. Now let's get this one going. Oh boy, I'm sure looking forward to some of these pickled turkey gizzards. Remind me when I was young. Hey, that was just enough right mixture and such as far as the liquid. Now what we're going to do, we're going to keep this on high for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then we're going to go ahead and turn it down just a little bit because we don't want these things super hard, we don't want them too tender. But when we start taking them out, I want you to see what they look like as we start to slice them, because it's going to look like beef, but they're going to be fully cooked because they're going to be red inside. You're going to love them. So join us back in about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Looks like our turkey gizzards are about done. Unlike the other gizzards that we're going to be pressure canning, I put this into my pot here and put it on the heat plate. We've been boiling it for about the first hour and then turned it on down low because we need that to get all nice and done. Let me show you what this looks like. Come on over here, Nene, and let's let these people get a gander at the things after they're boiled. That's a turkey gizzard. It don't look like white meat. It don't look like beef, but it's a turkey gizzard nonetheless. Now let me show you what we're going to do with that. We're going to start popping these things in here, kind of get some of that juice running off. And no, we're not going to waste the juice because guess what? We'll use that for soup stock and everything else like that, and we'll freeze it. So let me just, before I go any further, let me get this out of the way here, if I can find a spot. Let me show you what we're going to do with this. Now you remember little boy. I'm going to pop this guy out. He's going to be my best friend. I'm going to cut that off there on the end because I wanted to show you something here. Look at all that gristle right here. We want to go ahead and remove as much of that as we can off of both ends and even a little bit off the side. And the same thing with that. Now my wife, she likes her pickled turkey gizzards sliced up into small pieces so she can have it with crackers, be it Ritz or saltines or whatever. Myself, I like them whole like this. All of our turkey gizzards are finally out of the pot. We've got them in this Tupperware. We're going to set them off to the side and let them cool off for just a little bit. And then we're going to start trimming off some of that gristle. So let me set this over here. Let me show you what we're going to do next. And let me put this away. I don't need that. Now we've got to go ahead and start getting everything else done that needs to be done. What we're going to do, because we're going to be pickling this in a brine, well actually not a brine, but a pickling juice. Now here I've got 2 cups of white vinegar. We're going to pour that into this pan, and actually we're probably going to put about 1 more cup in there. There we go, that should do her. Now, we've got that. We've also got our onions. We've got our cucumbers. And some people will actually, when they're doing pickled turkey gizzards, they'll actually even throw in some diced up carrots and stuff in there to give it some more added flavor. Now, one of the other things, with that 3 cups of vinegar that I just put in there, now we're going to dump in 1.5 cups worth of sugar. We're going to put that in there. We're going to set this back on the hot plate, and I'm going to constantly be stirring it because we want all that sugar to dissolve. Some folks, they like a lot more sugar. Some people will use white sugar. Some people whatever type of sugar that they have handy. But I'm going to go ahead and use the white sugar, and I'm going to start stirring it. Now let me turn this up to high so I can get it up to a boil. And this won't take but a few minutes to get this done. And after we do have it finished up, now I have to let it cool down as well. But that's not a problem, because while that's cooling down, I can be chomping up the gristle off these turkey gizzards and get them ready for what the next step is. So come back and join us shortly. Now I'm cutting just the end off on each section of that. I'm just trying to get some of that gristle out of there, because that can be awful chewy at times. Now, we're going to go ahead and slice it down some more. And look how red that is. That looks like a piece of steak. And you might not think it's actually cooked, but it is. That's turkey meat. It's supposed to be white, not red, but it's fully cooked. And it's ready to be in my belly. Let's go ahead and cut some more of this down here. That's good enough on that one. Let's go ahead and cut this gristle off, that gristle off, that gristle off. Slide that out of the way. Now, if I can get that, there we go. Ooh, it looks like I missed a piece of gristle. Go ahead and get that off there as well. Throw this in the bowl. And I missed a piece. I guess I ain't no basketball player, because I'll never get in the hoop if I keep tossing things. It's time to get the pickling done. Now what we're going to do, now my wife lovingly cut up the onions for me in advance. Look at this. We got a whole bowl full of them, because we got a lot of quarts that we're going to have to fill. Right now, for these ones here on the pickling, we're going to go ahead and just use a pint-sized ones. And we're going to throw some onion in here. Then we're going to take a handful of this meat. And yes, I have more in the crock pot, so there's going to be a lot. Let's go ahead and push that in there. Now my wife, she likes to have some cucumber in her pickled turkey gizzards. Some people actually even put in some carrots. So we're going to throw in about 3 or 4 of these things. Throw in another layer of onion. Now another handful of this turkey gizzard. Let's mash that all down good. Alrighty. Now, what we're going to do here, we're going to throw just a few more onions on top. Push that down good and down. Now you remember the vinegar and the sugar that I was telling you about? It's time to dump her in. Oops, I'm making a mess, Nene. There we go. Now what we don't want to do is get this too full. Now, these lids, they've already been taken care of as far as in hot water bath. Our jars have already been cleaned up. Now let me get a paper towel. Even though it's not totally necessary, I still like to wipe the lids off, just even on the pickling thing. Now with canning, it's a different story. You definitely want to have them cleaned up so that they get a good seal. Let's go ahead and put this on here now. And I'm gonna rack that down. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to turn that upside down, and we're going to put that in the refrigerator for about the next 2 or 3 days, because what we want to do is have the pickle juice touch into the top end of it. After that, we're going to go ahead and flip it back over. So let's go ahead and get that one done. Let's set this off to the side for just a moment. Let's get the next one going. Now, we have some onion here. We're going to throw that in there. Now we're going to take some of this turkey gizzard, throw that in there. We're going to take some of these cucumbers. We need that. We're going to put another layer of onions in it. And then we're going to do some more turkey gizzards, that is. All right. Now, I can use a couple more pieces. What the heck? Throw in this. Mash it all down good. Now let's take some more of this vinegar and sugar mixture that I did. There we go. Mash that down really good. Give me another lid. Tighten that down really good because I don't want it leaking out in my refrigerator. Let's set this over here. Take a look at just those two there right now. Don't that look good? In a few days, I tell you what, my wife is going to break out the saltines. She might break out the Ritz, but she's going to be chomping on that. And I know I will too. And we've got a few more of them that we're going to be doing up. You know, as we go through after the crock pot is done doing that up. But we're also going to be pressure canning the rest of our turkey gizzards. So come back and join us shortly. Well, we got the first 3 pints of our pickled turkey gizzards done. Now, one thing I forgot to mention to you that is very important, you can use 1 teaspoon of pickling salt, or you can use pickling spice, whichever one suits your flavor. But what we've done here is all done as far as this type. We've turned it upside down. We're going to put them in the refrigerator. They'll be gone in the next couple weeks because we like this stuff. And I know if you try it, you're going to like it as well. Come on over here and let you get a close-up look at it, what this is. Now these things are sitting upside down for a good reason. I want that pickle juice to get to the top of it. And in about 2 or 3 days, I'm going to flip it back over. And I'm going to go ahead and let that sit for a couple more days. I guarantee you, in my refrigerator, that ain't going to last us but a couple of weeks. And we've got a lot more turkey gizzards we have to do before the day's end, because we're going to do some pressure canning. And we're also going to do some more pickling. So I want you to come back and see our next video on how we pressure can our turkey gizzards. In the meantime, if you like what we're doing here, if you want to try the recipe and you like that as well, I actually would love it if you would go down below, click on the like button, hit on the subscribe button, and follow us on social media. We're out there anymore. In the meantime, Cowboy Vittles, come and get 'em.